Do you want me to just be like, oh, good games, walk away like every other boring player in the FGC? Do you want me to do that, or do you guys want to see the salt? Do you guys want to see what I have to say? Like, what do you want? What do you guys want? I don't know. Like, everyone's talking about this so hugs, West Coast hug boys. Everybody's like, yo, I'm tired of everybody giving people hugs and like that. But then when I speak off, when I speak up and when I speak up to these, you don't want this either? What do you want?
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Martin, back with another topic for I Got Next. This week, we'll be talking some fighting game rivalries and personalities, but a little bit later in the video, I'll respond to some highlighted comments from last week's topic. So let's dig in. Street Fighter V and other fighting games are missing the flair that has made the FGC unique over the years. Last week, K-Brad and Smug had arguably the greatest exchange in recent FGC memory. Quote, I postulated his possibilities with the greatest of ease.
I'd postulate his possibilities, though, with the greatest of ease.
That might be one of the greatest lines in an FGC interview ever. So not to be outdone, K-Brad got his chance to speak. He took the mic from Tasty Steve and proceeded to state his case in a great interview. This quote, of course, hit me. Quote,
everybody lost when he won. Everybody lost.
Look, not everyone has the personality nor the capability to pull off a WWE-worthy promo. We already know K-Brad can do a great Stone Cold Steve Austin ring entrance or cut a cool promo against Justin Wong joining Echo Fox. But the takeaway here is the kind of flair we need to see in the FGC to get people hyped, to get fans hype. We're missing that. We're missing the heroes and the villains. I'm not even sure who the hero and villain is in the K-Brad Wolfcrone feud, but you can be sure we'll tune in every single time they play after Wolfcrone wiped his hands clean with a victory over K-Brad at Frosty Faustings recently. Hey, F-Champ's bullying of KBR was definitely cringeworthy at times, but good lord did you see the justice served at Winter Brawl last year when KBR lost the highly touted exhibition, lost to F-Champ in the tournament the following day, and then ran it back to win in Grand Finals from the loser's side. Marvel is one of the few scenes that still upholds this dramatic rivalries or this unique attitude the FGC has, and I'm not even talking about just Marvel 3. Watch any Marvel 2 exhibition, especially the ones at Big E events, and you'll see what I mean. Players are taunting each other, they're in each other's faces. There's a little bit of money exchanging hands sometimes at these exhibitions. Out of game, everyone's friends. We're all friends, and that's fine. In game, we need to see more of K-Brad versus the world because he's willing to go in and on everyone, whether it be Smug, Wolfcrone, Justin Wong, or Echo Fox. But not just K-Brad. More players need to be willing to rock the boat a little. Show your personality. Show what's underneath that happy-go-lucky, friendly skin of yours. If Infiltration had won Capcom Cup 2016, and he was more like the 2012 Infiltration, where people really didn't seem to like him as much, because he wasn't really the same friendly personality that he is today, could he have been our first Patriots-level hate towards him dominating Street Fighter V?
Okay, I can explain this. Download complete.
I mean, I guess he did talk a little trash at EVO, and that made for a great t-shirt. Feuds in the WWE, MMA like UFC, or old school boxing matchups were the best. Yeah, sometimes things get personal and go a little too far. I'm not asking to go that far. But what I am asking is for a little bit of salt between players, organizations to spice things up. A little thuggery, if you will. And there's no need to stifle that just because we're all esports now, or we're all trying to be esports. The FGC is unique, and that's what we want to capture. We want to hang on to that. So, tell me what you think. Are fighting games too tame? Does Street Fighter V and other games need more rivalries and better and bigger personalities to be more interesting? Let me know in the comments and on Twitter. That's Bizarro_Mike 1Z 2Rs. And let's get to these comments from last week. Alright, so let's get into some comments and responses from last week's topic, which is, of course, do you care about the EVO vote? Is it fair? Queejibo says, the last time they did this, Skullgirls raised a whopping $78,000 and Melee beat it fair and square with $94,000. Both communities did an amazing job. Mr. Wizard came out and said, I wish we could have both games on main stage, but it's just not possible. And then 2 months later announced that he'd be squeezing Injustice onto the main stage. Couple things to unpack here. Both games and communities did a great job of raising a ton of money for charity. So I don't think anyone disputes that. It was a time where there was a lot of great feelings. Smash Melee took off, whereas there were a lot of hard feelings, whether it's Skullgirls or other communities. It pitted the communities against each other, and ultimately all of that was undermined when Evo added a game that wasn't out yet. Now, if I recall, it wasn't included in the vote originally, and people were mad about that, but it wasn't out yet, which I think might have been the reason why. And then, of course, it released, I feel like, shortly before Evo took place, and they added it as a result. So, yeah, it undermined the vote, and it felt like those communities went at it hard to get their game in, only to see, hey, they're just adding games anyways. Why did we go through this? So thank you for that comment. Todd S. says, I can agree with the sentiment. Voting does give bigger communities an inherent advantage, which isn't fair. While giving the community a chance to choose the last game is great, I'm not quite sure how to balance this. I wrote a story on this from the perspective of Skullgirls developer Mike Z. I talked with him, and there's no easy way to make this fair or to balance a vote like this. Is it a matter of just a vote? One person gets one vote. Maybe Evo cuts a check. I don't know. Is it a matter of limiting the dollar amount so that you can't have someone swoop in with $10,000 and just say, hey, here we want. The idea here is bigger communities have a bigger voice, bigger personalities, and they're going to campaign like Marvel has. Meanwhile, other games like Skullgirls or MKX have been almost non-existent in this vote. Is there a perfect way to balance this out? Not sure. I think there are better ways to do this vote than currently voting with your wallet. And if you want your game in, you have to pay more money. Jazza says, the vote is good and terrible thing at the same time. It's good because of the charity donations, which I think we can all agree on, but terrible because it fractures the FGC into smaller communities. Doing a vote and having Marvel 3 in there is kind of dumb in my opinion, as of course it's going to win due to the most of the combined FGC feeling that Marvel should have one last hurrah on the main stage before Infinite comes out. There's a couple things going on here. One, I want to make it clear that Evo and the Evo vote isn't the only or primary contributing factor to communities being fractured in the FGC. That goes way back. The vote contributes to encouraging the fractured nature, but it's not the reason or the only reason that we're in this situation. As to Marvel, I think a few days ago we would have probably agreed that yes, Marvel should have been a no-brainer. Yipes just went on a rant that said, hey, Marvel helped build Evo. I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't know if you want to say, if I would say that any one scene or one game built Evo. Obviously, it was a combination of scenes and games. But I understand why he's saying that. And the thing is Marvel not being Evo at Evo is it just doesn't make sense. It's been at every one, right? But there is a chance currently Marvel might not make it. And let me move on to the next comment before I explain a little bit more. Enrique Villagomez says, why the is Pokken on the main list again? I'll tell you why. There is a good chance Pokken could win this vote. And the reason for that, even I underestimated it, is because it's a passionate community. It's probably a larger community than I think a lot of us gave credit for. And they want their game in. To say that Pokken doesn't deserve to be there, I guess now at this point, because they are voting with their wallet, it shows that they deserve to be there. Thank you for all of your comments, and of course, be sure to submit your comments and tweets to me at Bizarro_Mike, 1Z, 2Rs. Don't forget, Conversations and Fireballs, where I sit down and talk with different players and personalities from all around the FGC, just having a casual conversation about fighting games every week. For all of your fighting game news and information, keep it right here on Yahoo Esports.